say all they want. We're just here to play ball.
It's just a bunch of crackpots still fighting the Civil War.
Well, hell, we'd have won that son of a gun if the cornstalks would have held out. We just ran out of ammunition.
Better luck next time, Pee-wee.
Ain't gonna be a next time, Jackson.
In August of 2020, the world lost a truly remarkable talent after a 4-year battle with colon cancer. Chadwick Boseman, who broke into the mainstream with an acclaimed performance as baseball legend Jackie Robinson in 42, began the role that would define him. T'Challa in Black Panther and in Captain America Civil War in 2016, and went on to play the character in Black Panther, Avengers Endgame, and Avengers Infinity War. He also played Thurgood Marshall in Marshall and James Brown in Get On Up. Boseman was just 43 at the time of his death. As we still mourn this monumental loss, we'd like to celebrate his life and his memory as we count down the best Chadwick Boseman movies. Number 10, Draft Day. Sonny Weaver Jr. is the general manager of the Cleveland Browns. One of pro football's most important days, NFL Draft Day, is drawing near. But Sonny has much more on his mind than just which players to recruit. His lover is pregnant, and the team's owner wants to fire him. After Sonny accepts a deal with Seattle that nets him the team's first-round pick, he immediately wonders if he's made the right choice for himself and the Browns. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Jennifer Garner, Kevin Costner, and directed by Ivan Reitman. Critics say it's perfectly pleasant for sports buffs and Costner fans, but overall, Draft Day lives down on its title by relying too heavily on the sort of by-the-numbers storytelling that only a statistician could love.
Hello?
Good morning, Mr. Sonny Weaver Jr. Show #1 fan, Vontae Mack.
Vontae, how'd you get this number?
You gave it to me. At the combine? Sorry if I called, ain't it?
That's all right. Look, doesn't matter. Vontae, the draft doesn't start until 8. Where are you, New York?
No, man. They wanted me up there, Radio City, but I wanted to be here in Virginia with my grams. Well, she can't make that trip. So, who you picking? If I was you, I'd take a lightning quick middle linebacker who can murder the gaps in the 3-4.
Totally agree. You got Reggie Wilson's number down there in Purdue?
You know, I really don't find that funny.
Number 9, Get On Up. James Brown was born in extreme poverty in 1933, South Carolina, and survived abandonment, abuse, and jail to become one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. He joined a gospel group as a teenager, but the jazz and blues, along with the Chitlin circuit, became his springboard to fame. Although his backup musicians came and went, Brown retained the ability to mesmerize audiences with his music, signature moves, and sexual energy. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Nelson Ellis, Dan Aykroyd, and directed by Tate Taylor. Critics say with an unforgettable Chadwick Boseman in the starring role, Get On Up offers the Godfather of Soul a fittingly dynamic homage.
Teddy, go on, wait outside.
Yes, sir.
Fellas, I hear you. I really do. And I appreciate your honesty. Can't be easy, no sir. You got your grievances, you got yourselves to think about. Hell, you're men. I dig it.
I don't think you understand, Mr. Brown, sir. We know you owe the government back taxes. Your restaurant, radio stations, your recording studios, labels, all different businesses, all kind of cash passing between them, unaccounted for. It's a mess, Mr. Brown. If you want us to be a part of it, we're gonna need our cash too, right now.
Most of all, none of us wants to be fined for anything. Ever again.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna think about it. That's all. You son of a Son, what you say to me?
You.
You better get on out of here right. You ain't gonna make me come out myself. You better get on out of here right now. Go, get the hell out!
Number 8, 42. In 1946, Branch Rickey, legendary manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, defies Major League Baseball's notorious color barrier by signing Jackie Robinson to the team. The heroic act puts both Rickey and Robinson in the firing line of the public, the press, and other players. Facing open racism from all sides, Robinson demonstrates true courage and admirable restraint by not reacting in kind and lets his undeniable talent silence the critics for him. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford, Nicole Beharie, and directed by Brian Helgeland. Critics say 42 is an earnest, inspirational, and respectfully told biography of an influential American sports icon, though it might be a little too safe and old-fashioned for some.
Robinson with another big lead off first. He's just as restless as a cat with a hot foot.
The Flatbush faithful voicing their approval of Jack, as this type of scrappy play is exactly what they're prone to expect of their beloved Bombers.
Stay, sweetheart. Take it.
The Dodgers with an excellent chance here as Robinson has practically willed himself into scoring position.
Number 7, Marshall. Young Thurgood Marshall faces one of his greatest challenges while working as a lawyer for the NAACP. Marshall travels to conservative Connecticut when wealthy socialite Eleanor Strubbing accuses black chauffeur Joseph Spell of sexual assault and attempted murder. He soon teams up with Sam Friedman, a local Jewish lawyer who's never handled a criminal case. Together, the two men build a defense while contending with racist and anti-Semitic views from those who deem Spell to be guilty. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Josh Gad, Kate Hudson, and directed by Reginald Hudlin. Critics say Marshall takes an illuminating, well-acted look at its real-life subject's early career that also delivers as an entertainingly old-fashioned courtroom drama.
What do you have to say about today's comments by the NAACP?
What comments?
The press release by Walter White? He says that the Spell case will show the world that a colored man cannot get a fair trial in the United States of America. Do you agree, Mr. Friedman?
I have nothing to say about
What am I
that.
doing, Mr. Marshall?
Hasn't it been proven in this courtroom already? How can a man have a fair trial when he's denied counsel of his choice? When the members of his race are eliminated from service on his jury, when fear and bias against his race are the central points of the case against him. In Europe right now, the forces of tyranny have mobilized behind the vision of a so-called master race. And here in America, our differences aren't supposed to matter. Here, we're promised equal protection under the law. Nothing complicated about that. That promise has not been realized, not even close. Not in Birmingham, Alabama, nor in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and certainly not here in Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Number 6, Avengers: Infinity War. Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, and the rest of the Avengers unite to battle their most powerful enemy yet, the evil Thanos. On a mission to collect all 6 Infinity Stones, Thanos plans to use the artifacts to inflict his twisted will on reality. The fate of the planet and existence itself has never been more uncertain, as everything the Avengers have fought for has led up to this moment. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Hemsworth, and directed by Joe and Anthony Russo. Critics say Avengers: Infinity War ably juggles a dizzying array of MCU heroes in the fight against their gravest threat yet, and the result is a thrilling, emotionally resonant blockbuster that mostly realizes its gargantuan ambitions.
Something's entered the atmosphere.
Hey, Cap, we got a situation here. love this place.
Yeah, don't start celebrating yet, guys. We got more incoming outside the dome.
It's too late. We need to destroy the stone now.
Vision, get your back on the table.
We will hold them off.
Wanda, as soon as that stone's out of his head, you blow it to hell.
I will.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Number 5, Captain America: Civil War. Political pressure mounts to install a system of accountability when the actions of the Avengers lead to collateral damage. The new status quo deeply divides members of the team. Captain America believes superheroes should remain free to defend humanity without government interference. Now, Iron Man sharply disagrees and supports oversight. As the debate escalates into an all-out feud, Black Widow and Hawkeye must pick a side. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., and directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. Critics say Captain America: Civil War begins the next wave of Marvel movies with an action-packed superhero blockbuster boasting a decidedly non-cartoonish plot and the courage to explore thought-provoking themes.
Sam, southwest rooftop.
Who the hell's the other guy?
About to find out.
Sam, got him.
Number 4, The Five Bloods. 4 African-American vets battle the forces of man and nature when they return to Vietnam seeking the remains of their fallen squad leader and the gold fortune he helped them hide. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Delroy Lindo, Jonathan Majors, and directed by Spike Lee. Critics say fierce energy and ambition course through The Five Bloods, coming together to fuel one of Spike Lee's most urgent and impactful films.
Ceasefire! Everybody all right? Yeah.
Good right here.
Good. Good.
War is about money. Money is about war. Every time I walk out my front door, see cops patrolling my neighborhood like it's some kind of police state, I can feel just how much I ain't worth.
Gave us something to believe in. A direction, a purpose. Taught us about black history when it wasn't really popular back then. Schooled us about drinking that anti-commie Kool-Aid they was selling. Yeah, he was our Malcolm and our Martin. Norm had a way of keeping us from going off.
He wasn't no Tom. He was a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Number 3, Avengers: Endgame. Adrift in space with no food or water, Tony Stark sends a message to Pepper Potts as his oxygen supply starts to dwindle. Meanwhile, the remaining Avengers, Thor, Black Widow, Captain America, and Bruce Banner, must figure out a way to bring back their vanquished allies for an epic showdown with Thanos, the evil demigod who decimated the planet and the universe. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and directed by Anthony and Joe Russo. Critics say exciting, entertaining, and emotionally impactful, Avengers Endgame does whatever it takes to deliver a satisfying finale to Marvel's epic Infinity Saga.
Hey, Captain Raimi. Captain Sam, can you hear me? On your left.
Number 2, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Tensions and temperatures rise over the course of an afternoon recording session in 1920 Chicago as a band of musicians await trailblazing performer, the legendary mother of the blues, Ma Rainey. Late to the session, the fearless, fiery Ma engages in a battle of wills with her white manager and producer over control of her music. As the band waits in the studio's claustrophobic rehearsal room, ambitious cornet player Levy, who has an eye for Ma's girlfriend and is determined to stake his own claim on the music industry, spurs his fellow musicians into an eruption of stories, revealing truths that will forever change the course of their lives. Starring Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman, Glenn Turman, and directed by George C. Wolfe. Critics say, framed by a pair of powerhouse performances, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom pays affectionate tribute to a blues legend and black culture at large.
What is you? I don't see your name in lights.
Oh, I just play the piece, whatever they want. I don't criticize other people's music.
I ain't like you, Color. I got talent.
Oh.
Me and this home, we's tight. If my daddy had known I was gonna turn out like this, he would have named me Gabriel.
Oh.
I'm gonna get me a band and make me some records. I done give Mr. Stutterman some of my songs I wrote, and he said he gonna let me record them when I get my band together. I just got to finish the last part of this song. I knows how to play real music, not this old jug band shit. I got style.
Oh, everybody got style. Style ain't nothing but keeping the same idea from beginning to end. Everybody got it.
Everybody can't play like I do. Everybody can't have their own band.
Well, until you get your own band where you can play what you want, you just play the piece and stop complaining. I told you when you came on here, this ain't none of them hot bands. This is an accompaniment band. You play Ma's music when you're here.
I got sense enough to know that. Hell, I can look at y'all and see what kind of band it is. I can look at Toledo and see what kind of band it is.
Oh, no, Toledo ain't saying nothing to you. Don't get Toledo started now.
Is you all gonna rehearse the musical, ain't you?
How many times you done played them songs? What you gotta rehearse for?
This is a recording session. I want to get it right the first time and get on out of here.
Well, y'all go on and rehearse then. I'm gonna finish this song for Mr. Stutterman.
And finally, number 1, Black Panther. After the death of his father, T'Challa returns home to the African nation of Wakanda to take his rightful place as king. When a powerful enemy suddenly reappears, T'Challa's mettle as king and as Black Panther gets tested when he's drawn into a conflict that puts the fate of Wakanda and the entire world at risk. Faced with treachery and danger, the young king must rally his allies and release the full power of Black Panther to defeat his foes and secure the safety of his people. Starring Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, and directed by Ryan Coogler. Critics say Black Panther elevates superhero cinema to thrilling new heights while telling one of the MCU's most absorbing stories and introducing some of its most fully realized characters.
Where is your God now?
a boy, not fit to lead. Show him who you are! I am Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Chaka! You can do this, T'Challa! Don't make me kill you! I would rather die! You have fought with honor now years. Your people need you. Kill the man!
Well, my friends, that about does it for us. Be sure to stay tuned to the Rotten Tomatoes channel for more of the entertainment content you love. Until next time, I am your host, Naz Perez, and we'll see you back here for more Top 10s on the Rotten Tomatoes Countdown.